Yeah, they're
All right, we're
absolutely
live.
great. I'm not
We're live,
telling.
Casey. What's going
Hi.
on, man? It's been forever, but you're my man. You know what I mean? I want to say, first of all, there's a shout out I got to give out. Alex Ortega.
Alex Ortega, hello.
Big up to
Yeah.
Alex Ortega, man. I haven't been hanging out on Facebook. I can't do it. It's too boring. Big up to you, bro. Come back around. You know what I mean? We
He's
love
my
you. We love you.
absolutely love him.
Right? So, Casey, man, you're my friend. You're my main man. All these people need to know that because I'll take care of them quicker. You know what I mean? But at the
Yeah.
same time, what have you been doing for the last 20 plus years? What the fuck
Oh,
have you been on?
oh, I mean, obviously we're the Roz Williams Scholar Society. Well, this we kind of took the name in 2012, but like around I got introduced to Roz's work in like 2003, and then like throughout high school, like all of '04. I was really busy, like, crunching in on classes and obligations I had at the I couldn't stop thinking about him because my friend's mom introduced me to his work, and my friend at that time was going through a really hard time in their life, so as their family was
Dude,
going through that,
we
so
have we have a we have
Roz was
a
kind of that
we have a
center.
young chica that comes around here, right? And her
Mhm.
name's Darby because her parents named her after Darby, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we have a
Love
chatter that's like totally into, and knowing what's going on, man. So
Roz
you've
had
been
mad respect for her.
archiving, collecting, and presenting the work of one artist.
Primarily, yeah.
Who? Tell them,
Roswell.
man. They don't know.
Roz Williams, man, I've been collecting for Roz's work since I was like 15 years old. He's the founder of Christian Death, a name that has a lot of controversy. A band that has two. It's a band with no original members today, but that's another discussion. But he was really passionate about artwork, and um, at the time he was alive, there really wasn't a lot of interest in his work. It's like people knew about him on a local level or through word of mouth and magazines.
Even
But
in
then after,
tour, he was on tour. We saw him down here too in the east and stuff. We saw him.
it was really
Yeah.
hard for people that were, like, new to underground to find him, and even if
Okay,
you could
so
find
he
only
said
his
Roz,
name, hard
everything,
to get hold
everybody.
of
I have to just, introductory. Roz Williams. He's talking about Roz Williams, all the music, all the art. This person was so prolific, made so much music that you could not imagine in one lifetime, and
Yeah.
then ended it all pretty abruptly, too. What's up, Smooth Keys? Smooth Keys was up here playing music for us today.
Oh, that's
Man, I like to host independent artists. I told you don't look at the chat, man. Just look at the camera. I'll deal with it.
oh,
But
yeah, I'm just keeping my
Smooth
charger
Keys
on
in
just
the
in case
house.
it
What's up,
stops.
brother? Yeah. So you've just been up to this for a couple of decades. I mean, it's could be a little bit of a big deal. How
Yeah.
do we see like an introductory level, a family tree? How do we see the websites? What's your web presence for
Okay, so
preservation?
I used to help Rosnet.com.
Sure.
The Graves family passed aw the founders passed away, so we have a mirror of Rosnet on our server. If you go to serve0.net/rn, you can look at Rosnet as it was before it went down. If you wanna know what
Sure.
I do about, like, charting bootlegs and trying to document live recordings, I have a site that's currently in development for the Roz Williams Scholar Society. It's serve0.net/RWSS. And I'm also working on a website for Chuck Cullison of premature ejaculation, but that's like proof of concept development right now. We don't even have we only have a front page for it. Serve
Has
zero
he
dot net
has he
slash
passed away? Has Chuck
HPOV.
passed away?
No, Chuck is still alive and well, and bless him.
Cool, cool, cool.
Yes.
I remember Chuck, when we met up on Facebook and stuff, Chuck was watching people and you're a controversial figure in that realm. So he was watching people and he was like, "Yo, people treat you like that and all?" You know what I mean? It's not cool, right?
Yeah.
Minnie Manson says kiss 100%. But that's inspiration, right? Alice Cooper, Kiss, everything like that. But Roz Williams
Mhm.
himself laid down so much work in one lifetime and then just ended it all on a fucking April Fool.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah,
talk about that later. But
yeah.
shout out
That's
to
really
Alex Ortega and shout out for, if it doesn't offend you, man, for Bosco, by the way.
Bosco, man. Yeah, my
Yeah,
wife
John
keeps.
Bosco, bro. John Bosco, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he'll never be not real. You know what I
You know,
mean?
Roz is with us right now. You want to say hi to Roz, Joe?
What's in that? What's in that? You got Roz
Roz.
with you?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
Thank you, Larry Painter, for sending me some of your brother's ashes. And you guys should go see the Roz Williams documentary that Nico B's putting together. I chose not to be involved with it, but that doesn't
Called
mean don't
Epics,
go
right?
see it. Go see it. Go see it. It's really important to his family that you guys go see it when it's done.
Yeah, right, right. And look, guys, I mean, look, man, we're trying not to name names, Casey.
Mhm.
But oh, so by the way, Minnie, this is Casey Strange. He's been for a couple decades been involved in archiving the works of Roz Williams, okay? Like straight up,
Mhm.
and that's it. Man, everybody's getting crazy about Minnie down there too. So big up Minnie too. Don't look at the chat. I see you. I see you. Look at me. Don't worry about it. But yeah, so that's called Epics, right? Nico B. And
Yeah,
you're
he's a
big
good
up in
businessman.
and representing what they do. And I
Mhm.
know that Lethal Amounts has their hands in, a lot of people have their hands in. Man, I was very publicly not Brian P. I'm not gonna say any more right now because anybody who doesn't know, fuck off.
Yeah,
But
right,
anyway.
right. Mhm.
But
It's
anyway.
it's business.
Right, right, right.
It's
And he,
business.
you know, like Casey Strange over here, that's who it is, okay? Are we boyfriends? Yeah, we're best boyfriends, you fucking loser. Hold on, 10 minutes,
I got
figure out
signed
something
ashes in the
better. Figure out
background.
something better. See, that's the thing, Casey. I told you. I told you. I met you when you were so young, I couldn't even talk to you because everybody was gonna be like,
Uh-huh.
why you all impressed with these boys? Because these boys is doing shit, brother. Because these boys is
Mhm.
doing shit. That's why.
Yeah.
So I waited. I don't care, man. I got time. Everything's cool, man. I got kids that are not your age, Casey, but either way, man. Either way, he can get 10 minutes to come up with something better. It doesn't matter. We're talking about the art of Roz Williams.
Mhm.
The subject matter there is deep. We can't dig into all of that, but at least you can
Yeah.
tell people how to find your web presence, get their feet wet, understand what's going on. I mean,
Yeah.
hey,
It's really
Hollywood
just a
Cemetery,
passion.
they host what? They host a gravesite and they play like blue flowers or I mean, excuse me. What do they play? Flowers, right? Like
Yeah.
Jatan and Roz, right?
Yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, there's a spot you can visit his niche at Hollywood Forever, and then if you go online, there's a section of the website where you can look at his artwork and listen to interviews with his parents and stuff like that. Um, and just this last year, there was a tribute show there to raise funds for the documentary. But prior to that, it was the fans that were doing memorials there every year. There was a woman that did memorials there every year. She's not alive anymore,
Oh
but
yeah.
yeah, but
So
she
she's
had,
almost like that character that used to go to Valentino, right? They
yeah,
had that like Black Death character who went to Valentino's grave over and over and over in Hollywood, right? What's up,
yeah,
Sean? Minnie, this is Casey Strange. Casey Strange is a controversial figure, but an archivist of all things art. Roz Williams, okay, Minnie, what's up with that? What's up? Yeah, 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 yeah. He's got a disc to send me.
yeah. I've got two of them.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, man. Oh no, I was in Rosnet back in the day, and I got a couple of discs in like 2001, and like you said, you were involved in that. You were archiving that shit. You know what I mean?
well,
What's up, Davian?
I wasn't involved with Rosnet in 2001, but I'm a big fan of what they were trying to do at that time. And I was
Right
trying
on.
to continue that legacy. Like those CDs you got were made by Kevin Graves. And
Right.
unfortunately he passed away in 2022, and his husband at the time was asking me, he's like, "Hey, we've got all these tapes. Can you digitize them for us?" I was like, "Sure, but let me release a couple of them for you to help pay for the dude's funeral." And Chuck got on board with that. Chuck Cullison was okay with that. And that's what we started doing, and then Chris died during the series,
Right,
and
right.
I didn't know how to continue with it anymore. So I voluntarily paid out of my own time and money to have 2 more CDs made, and I'm just giving them out to fans that want them, that I know are Roz Williams fans, that I know are not gonna put them on eBay. They're not
You've
gonna turn
always
around
been
and
doing
sell
that.
them.
This is not
People
this is not about money making. This is about keeping a legacy of life. One artist,
mhm.
like I said. So we can't get into
And
everything that's going on with
the fans
and
that
hello
listen to
Sean,
music.
what's up? Hello Davian, thank you for joining in. And looks like the guy from the Crow. Yeah, a lot of times, that's a very, black metal gothic look. I could do that too, but I'm not putting makeup on today. But fair enough, fair enough. Question mark, how much? Oh, get the fuck out of here with that. No versions of that. Guys, you can say my folk. You know what I mean? I grew up in a black neighborhood. You guys are so fucking stupid. When I grew up there, if they said it to me, it was an inclusionary word. It was like, I know you're my look today. I know you're my friend today. You know what I mean? So you ignorant motherfuckers on the internet, you don't know shit, man. You didn't grow up there. You don't understand. You know why I don't talk with like a fake fucking affectation? Because I was in the shit, brother. Because I was
Yeah.
in the shit. And we don't grow up with affectations when we're in the shit. You got to be real or you fucking sink or you get
It's kind of
used.
ironic that Will Smith used to say parents just don't understand, and here we are in 2024. Kids just don't understand. Motherfucker,
Right, right, right. Well, okay, that's the funniest fucking thing too. Because he went up to Chris Rock and slapped him, right? Chris Rock was an independent comedian, 17 years old, 19 years
mhm.
old. When he auditioned for Saturday Night Live, he still had the ashy fucking crack smoke lips, at 19 years old. And he made
Yeah, when he
himself.
had the flat
And then
top.
you got Jive Records and fucking Will. And you know what I mean? You got Jive Records putting out the first double album that any rap artist in, Note put out or whatever. So Will has always been supported. He got to this point where he's showing off, you know what I mean? And then he wants to slap somebody who really fucking grinded. You know what I mean? That's what we're
I
talking
think
about. We're talking
I think
about
Will's
underground
more of a
shit right now. Really
yeah,
grind. Yeah,
yeah.
Marilyn Manson and George Lopez. That's right. That's right, man. We got Marilyn Manson over there, George Lopez right here. Big up everybody. Yeah. Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah.
I'm just showing off my rarities, man. There's so much stuff these guys have yet to see
That's what I
online.
was listening to, but there's 14 seconds on this record that can offend all of America. But that's part of
But
what
yeah,
you do,
Chuck.
man, you know?
Yeah, a lot of
Yeah,
Art Roz's artwork would offend a lot of people today, but they also don't understand this guy was born in the '60s and he died in the late '90s, and they don't understand. It was a different time. It doesn't excuse what people did back then, but that was part of the culture of America back then, love it or hate it, so
right. But
mhm,
anyways, you got to be right with yourself, your own
mhm.
psyche, your own outer, projection. You got to be right with that. So scrape those things, man. There's some things that bug you that you need to get rid of. And if we suppress it, we can't deal with it. You got to bring it out on the table. You got to put it out. You got to sort out the stems, sort out the seeds, throw them away. Thank you guys for being in. CB that I've deleted 3 times. What do you say? Who cares? Times changes when I went,
I'm
oh
just
my
not even paying
fucking God.
attention to
I
that stuff.
deleted you 3 times. Why do I let people out? Sorry, Casey. Everybody
I'm
understand
not hey,
Casey.
I'm not reading
Casey's
what
my
they say.
friend, man. So you want to fucking fuck with Casey, you're gonna fuck with me first, okay? Understand? You know what I mean? And I'm big grandpa. He's just a young man in here. You know what I mean? But no, man, you've been dedicated for decades on this thing. You know what I mean?
I have
And
known many
yeah, I
good friends.
enjoyed Rosnet, and then I understood, they started to make it like, just a fan available thing, like you've been doing forever. Make
It
it
was like
free
an
for the fans,
information
make
source.
it at least educational. Roz
Yeah,
Williams Scholar Society.
mhm.
That's how we get to your YouTube, right? And so
Yeah.
you will
We have
host.
an Instagram as well. We did have a Facebook page, but Facebook just got kind of wild and out of control for me to deal with. It's too stressful, toxic, don't care. You know?
Casey is not a movie star or a famous musician, but he is better. He's just a dude. Like he's the best.
I wouldn't wanna
What
be
the
a
fuck?
movie star. Man, that would suck. Imagine having no privacy. No.
Well, yeah, I know. It's easier. It's
Mhm.
actually funny, Casey. It's easier for me to hide on YouTube than it is for me to go outside. Everybody looks at me when I go outside. This is easy. You know what I mean? It's like way different. You know, and I don't wear makeup or anything, but I just show up and they look at me. You
Oh,
know what I
I don't
mean?
do it either. I wore makeup tonight because I'm being on someone's show. I mean, I don't go to my job looking like
Right,
this,
right, right,
obviously,
right,
we're all
right.
adults here.
But I mean, even when I just walk out because the guy's trying to be a little bit cagey about it, but it's like, you know, I can have a lot more privacy here than I can out in public, you know, for real.
Yeah, that's kinda like why
Everybody
I like
looks
my
at me. Everybody looks at me, so why not make it make sense? You know, I can host a show, everybody's artistic endeavors, you know what I mean? It's cool, man. It's cool. I've known you forever, you know. I've known what you're doing forever. We were working on shit, 1334, and you provided us with the best show, European show,
Oh,
right?
yeah,
Right?
Wave
Yeah,
Traffic Trip in 2008.
right,
Yeah, it's soundboard material. That's
right.
kind of what the page is about. It's a fan's passion about, like, amateur live recordings, soundboard recordings, but for I guess you'd call them bootlegs, but eventually, if you guys see what happens with The Doors and Frank Zappa and stuff, bootlegs if the quality's marketable enough, and,
If it
I would
sounds
hope that
good, sure.
yeah, I would hope that the people putting out Roz's music on an official and professional level don't drop the ball on that. There's a lot of
Well,
good
I mean, like, let's talk about it. Invocations, right? Invocations has like a live show, and it has a couple of like tracks that everybody needs in the background. Um,
right.
but for the for the vast majority of people, it's
Invitations
probably unlistenable. They're never gonna get to it. They're
invitations
never gonna
if
understand like the version of Dodo is cool. They probably can't
Invocations
get
is a
through all of
stripped
that.
down version of this release here that
Right,
Roz
right.
self-released with Chuck in 1990. It's called Heavens and Hells, but obviously that's not economically viable for Cleopatra to put out a double, so they stripped the track list down and gave you guys Invocations. Invocations is just this without the Roxy Theater '85 show. I swear to God. Both this
Sean,
tape
that's so funny. Don't time
this
people
one
out,
has
Sean, but I
Hector
love it.
and this one has
Don't definitely don't kick him. Sorry, sorry, Casey. Sorry, Casey. But no, 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 totally, totally. And that's why you exist, right? Because you can lead them to every sort of different source and recording material that's existing, right?
Mhm.
So
Absolutely.
through
That's
what
what the
website?
Scholar Society's website is trying to do, but we're still in development. There's a lot of stuff I have to go over. There's a lot of code I have to write. I have to get graphics design because right now it looks like a site out of the late '90s.
Well, yeah, I know, and I remember how those were with the little stick
Mhm.
figures that dance and all that kind of good stuff, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah. You
So,
know,
like,
tiled backgrounds, text that has to be like HTML edited, like you're using a font and typewriter, and yeah, it's a pain in the ass writing code.
so, you know, on your actual like YouTube channel, what have you been doing lately? You know, hosting the music and talking about it and
Yeah.
explaining.
Yep, I do streams when I feel like it. We don't really go have a schedule if I go off. If I'm in a good mood and I feel like listening to Roz Williams, I'll do an unlisted or a public stream and I'll play, a live recording or two. If I have news to share, I'll share news. If I'm in a
Hey,
really, really good
Casey,
mood,
Sean's actually a kick-ass guy, and he's sorry for timing the guy out. Just don't kick him from the channel. It doesn't matter. You timed him out, no big deal. Everybody does it once. I don't want any mods to do it because I do it. I'll look at the chat. But you know what, Sean? You know what, man? You're gonna be friends with Casey too. You'll understand Casey over there in my orientation. He's over there. But
yeah,
yeah,
pretty much.
Sean's a kick-ass dude, man. He's got like the Garbage Pail Kids stuff covered on his site and everything. He's so awesome, man. It
I
really is.
we wanted the Scholar Society to pick up where Rosnet left off, and we wanted to aspire to be for Roz Williams what Live Nirvana is for Kurt Cobain. If you go on livenirvana.com, you'll see like their bootography and history and how many different sources exist for each concert, like how many fans were taping that day. Like that's kind of what we're trying to do because
Hello,
sometimes you'll
Jennifer and Devin. That's so cool, but he hit it, man. So, if you guys understand, he's talking about like Live Nirvana, how they let you know if there's audience source recordings or material and stuff like that for Nirvana.
sound
And
soundboard,
you have to
amateur
understand
audio,
there's a big
video.
war in the world because obviously, like, Jesus, I mean, how do I put this? Like, the ex-bride wants to own everything or the drummer wants to own everything,
I
everybody
want
puts
more of
their
the pie
fingers
game.
in.
I want
I'm
more
not
of the
trying
pie
to
game.
name names, I'm just saying it's
There's
very
yeah,
difficult,
yeah,
you
it's
know.
really nasty in my realm.
Right, and so the same thing is happening within the realm of the one artist that you represent, and it
Mhm.
branches out everywhere. So can
Yeah,
they actually go see a family tree and see about the participation of Paris or Gatan or, like all those
that is
different.
really complex web, that can't really be explained in a timeline of concert performances. It's more of, like, who worked with who because, like, okay, like, if you wanna get to the, like, nitty-gritty of who Roz was around at the end of his life, you gotta check out EXP. EXP, everybody that ever loved Roz or worked with Roz was, usually involved with EXP. That
Well,
was,
how do
like,
we
their
look it up
family.
now? I
And then
mean,
there's
like, what's the actual website to see that info?
the closest I can tell you is that the little memorial mirror that serves zero hosts for Rosnet if you go on Family, because a lot of that information is getting lost now as time goes on and domains are going offline and these musicians are getting older. These
So
aren't
basically,
artists that sold millions of
Rosnet doesn't
records.
even exist anymore.
As of July, the domain registrant certificate is bye bye, and that domain registrant certificate was active since February of 1997.
Well,
Rosnet.
Jessica's wondering. I have to try. Jessica's wondering what we're talking about in total. We're talking about Roz Williams.
Yeah. He worked with a lot of different people and had his own family of musicians, as we called them back in the day.
How old is
Yep.
he right here? Like 15? What the hell is this?
I would say, about 17 or 18.
He's a child.
Pretty much.
He
Barely
drew
old enough
this,
to
right? He drew the cover, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he was a
He hand-drew the
little
concert
guy.
flyer.
You know what I mean?
That's why
But
people want Christian Death concert flyers, especially if the skeleton hands are on it and stuff, because that's all hand-drawn by Roz. That's his artwork.
you
That's
know,
why people want those flyers.
Jennifer, a lot of people tell me that, it looks like Marilyn Manson, but it's way ahead of that. And by the way,
Mhm.
Roz Williams creating his own persona and name, is not Marilyn Manson. He was not stealing names from other people or anything like that. He was just creating that
There's a lot of
situation.
there's a lot of mystique around how he got his name. We won't even go into that. There's 3 different stories.
And then
Yeah,
what's
the
the cat's
Ham.
name? What's the cat's name?
Ham.
What Ham?
Ham.
He told me it was like I can't remember what Rick told me the cat's name was, man.
Cindy told me it was Pam and that they found it underneath Gladys and Robert's house. Those
Yeah,
are Roz's parents.
they definitely found it under Dad's house for sure.
Yeah.
But
It was, like, underneath the porch or
Rick
something.
one time told me he took it out for coffee because they were going to sell it at Lethal Amount. Here we go. But Lethal Amounts and certain people try to everything, right? Because they got to get everything, right? But
Mhm.
apparently
That
Charlie,
was
I think
really
you said the cat was,
controversial.
but they were going to sell it. Roz was like it could be 300 or whatever. And Rick was like, "What the fuck?" You know what I mean? So he took it to the coffee shop and he had one last meal with the cat. Because it's not money, man. It's history.
Yeah. That is
Oh,
crazy.
Jennifer loves Johnny Depp. That means she loves Casey Strange. There you go. Everybody's digging how you look is probably what it is.
Yeah, could be. Could be. That's a
Right on,
really
right on.
I wish I
So
could find footage of when the, church program had the record of Only Theater of Pain and they broke it on the air, but sadly, nobody in Los Angeles thought to tape local access programs in the early '80s, and VCRs were still expensive. But that's one of the
right.
stories I'd like to share was how he saw that on TV, but nobody
Oh
thought to
well,
tape.
here I'll bring that up right now. So when I was a kid, they had the Parents Music Research Center, but I
The
lived outside of
PMRC.
DC, so I could get,
Yep.
pamphlets from everywhere. So Impaler was in there, right? And Earl Root, right? From Root of All Evil Records, and that's not you guys. You're Wisconsin, but that was Minnesota. And so the funniest thing happened one time. I got a Christmas card from them. I'm gonna give you this because you have to keep giving people money so they can send you postcards, right? Like, think
Yeah.
about it. But I didn't send them shit, and so just in the mail, I got a Christmas card from Impaler. I'm gonna show you this. The only reason
They
that
would
I'm
send it
even
for
bringing it up is because when I had to pull out the Nico B postcard, right? I had to pull out the Nico B postcard,
I've got
for
one of
the
those.
right. I had to pull that out for the thumbnail, right?
Yeah.
Because we're talking about those issues. Well, it was in my little postcard box here. and so and so I just found a hilarious little thing here that I have to show you. If I can.
Yeah, man.
Give me a minute, guys. It's oh yeah, you don't yeah, look at that. Look at that. Oh. This is when I oh boy.
Nice.
yeah, yeah.
That's cool.
I fucked up my pants, man. I fucked up my pants that time. I even fucked up my germ circle, man.
Oh, wow.
But at least my back patch was good.
Right. Oh, wow. Shit,
I
people are
fucked up
making
a
those
tooth.
stuff.
I fucked up a None of that is related. I was just trying to show you something. Oh, here we
I was
go.
always
I got a Christmas card from Impaler. what the fuck?
a lot of people would want one of those.
Oi, oi, I got my germ circle all dirty. Oi. But my back patch intact. It
Pretty
was a
gnarly.
wild night, dude. You should have seen what happened. My wife saw what happened. And my friend said, "You remember when you got all awesome at my house?" I do. Anyway, I had to bring that up because in order to bring up the Nico B postcard for the thumbnail, I found all that other bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I have one of those. Mine's not written on though. They also made postcards for when The Art of Roz Williams came out, the book. I've got one of those.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So it's just a self portrait with eggs. It's the front cover of the book, and then it's like the like your postcard. If you turn it around, there's just information for like postage and stuff like that. They should make more of those postcards.
Do they
The early
have like crime scene photos of Roz Williams' death?
I imagine so, like any other, in death investigation in Los Angeles, it's treated as a homicide at first. So, I mean, they have to. It's just protocol. There's a story I could tell about that. There were some friends of Roz, I won't say their names, that were offering to sleep with the coroner in exchange for those photos.
I used to call that coroner. He said he called himself fuck. What did he say? Oh, Skid Row. I used to have to call him because I was working with a company that did trade business with the coroner of Los Angeles,
I'm
and he's
glad
like,
you asked
"Hello,
that question.
huh?"
I'm glad you asked that question because Roz's death was his last art piece. He made it like a window box at the time he died, like his closet and all that around him, like that was made to be an art piece. It's
Well,
not like
that's
he just
that's why
left
I
it
was
at
wondering, if there was actual crime scene photos, really, because I've actually had
there
people
are.
ask me before.
I don't want to see them though.
Well,
I know
no,
this
people
may
asked
sound
me before, and it was like distasteful, but they said, "Why don't you paint that?" You know what I mean? Like, why don't you paint him hanging? you know what I mean? Like, It's very distasteful, but I've never even
No, no,
seen it.
no, no.
So
What's distasteful is selling his hair on eBay, the hair that he cut from himself to so that he could tighten the belt around his neck easier, and then sitting on it for 20 years and selling it on eBay. That's distasteful.
you're
Bernie
going a
Artie.
little far there.
No,
No, I mean just
no.
for the
His
graphic
family, his
nature of that,
family
you know,
like
the
that.
graphic nature. There's a lot
His
of
family,
fucking heavy themes that
I'm
are
upset
covered.
about that.
There's a
Um,
lot of heavy themes that are covered in life and in art of Roz Williams. So we have to be careful. But you're talking about like to make it easier to, that's pretty hard. You know what I mean?
that's
I don't know,
sad.
man.
The fact that
Yeah,
why
it
would
is
you
sad.
if that person was close to you, and you're just devastated that they're gone. Why would you keep that? And then why would you
Right.
sell?
Yeah, yeah. And also like, look, if you are willing to sell that, why would I believe that is that? You probably shaved your pubes and told me it was some hair he'd shaved off his neck. You know what I mean? I don't trust you anyway if that's your position.
There's a lot of things that have happened over the years since Roz has died that, as a fan, has made me really sad, and I that's the best way I can put it.
Oh
Setting
yeah,
aside
I know that.
my anger and preconceived bias, at the end, the conclusion, it just makes me feel really sad because
Well,
that
that's
was a
why I'm trying not to make light of the fact that you've been doing this for already 2 decades. So, you should have been worn out. You could have been worn out. You're a controversial figure within the community, but you still
I've been
do it.
more
You
like the
still do it.
last since the documentary was announced, I got really worn out because, like, I mean, and with all due respect, I'm glad it's being made, but it seems like contradictory to like everything a lot of us believed in the years prior to that. So we're reshuffling the social atmosphere as this movie comes out, and young people watching this movie are gonna walk away knowing things that I've known for a really, really, really long time, and not a lot of other people knew. So we have to readjust where we're going to be standing in the next couple of years. You know.
Right. Right. And like, what my background is with like, DI and those guys and, just TSOL, regular punkers, you know what I mean? And like
Mhm.
there's a little well, the Rick connection, there's a whole different angle that Roz brought to the table, and then it
That
got convoluted or expanded in different ways because he kept going. It's not 86 and 84 and 85. So, oh, by the way, not just shout out to Bosco or Alex Ortega, but also like the middle class for fucking sure, detours for fucking sure. You know what I mean? Like these motherfuckers, you know what I mean? Shout out to
you're
them
so
and
you're
all the
inquiring about
history that they threw down.
are you inquiring about what happened after Roz left in '85?
Not exactly, but I was just saying that you cover that. And then there's the whole like, there was maybe in 86, Valor was playing second guitar or so, and then there's the Catastrophe Ballet album. But then
Mhm.
there's the Christian Death UK situation as it is. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
good God,
controversy.
some of it was unlistenable because, like I said, I'm horrible at programming drums, but he might have been worse. Nowadays, they make good music. So I'm not against them, but it took a while. It took
Mhm.
10 years, for them to really understand how to make some expansive music, but were they not like hijacking that name like Christian Death? Like, were they not?
Mm. They
It's
had to
so
do with
complicated. They're gonna have to check your
it had to
channel,
do
but
with a
I'm just
record.
saying, were they not?
It had to do with a record contract they signed.
The fucking what is that? Jesus Christ Points the Bone at You album.
What's the verdict? I don't know.
I have it over there. It
Oh,
sucks.
that's Ash's
Like the
behind.
scriptures is a singles collection, right? So the singles are
Yeah.
good. But and then there's like the Heretics Alive. I love that shit. I love that. Oh, I see that
I
one. I
have
see that one. Yeah, yeah.
I have a test pressing of Heretics Alive
Yeah,
on
yeah, yeah.
vinyl.
That's fantastic record. But
Mhm.
everybody knew that shit. That was in Tower. It wasn't that underground at that point, you know what I mean?
No,
But that's what I'm
by
talking
80 by
about
80
hijacking the name, right?
by 89, Christian Death was a household name, and a lot of it had to do with, sex, drugs, and Jesus Christ. But,
That fucking sucks.
as far back as, like, '87, Roz was aware of what Valor was doing and just he didn't give a shit. He was still talking trash about him knowing he was still in Christian Death while he was doing premature ejaculation.
Right,
So, like, during the time Roz was supposed to be getting a lawyer, he was in another band just trashing on him and more focused on his current career in industrial. Premature ejaculation, happiest tapes on earth, like, that is my favorite part of his career, period,
right?
because he was so open with and minded artistically and stuff. The only thing I don't like about that part of his career is his drug use increased aggressively at that time.
Sure, sure.
Oh,
Well,
and the whole
I
thing
never
with Michigan
understand why
where
the actual record industry likes drug addicts, I don't understand. But they do. You know,
they were
they
they were tax
favor a ministry or a whatever, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of drug addicts out there that they just keep stringing along for some way, you know, I don't know how they do it, but it sucks, you know? Hey, see you later,
definitely does.
Sean.
Well, it's
Don't
because they're
worry.
tax write-offs.
Well, I think they're easy to control or something, you know what I mean? You've dealt
They're
with
tax
drugs,
write-offs.
man. You were talking about look, for everybody's knowledge, you're in Wisconsin, you're from Wisconsin, right?
Yeah. I was
And so
just in
you've
Milwaukee.
dealt with people who were so nuts that they were doing like, you know, just mind flushers, like the ayahuascas and those sort of things. And like they would do it again. You don't do it again. I do my mushrooms 6 months and then 6 months later. You know what
Tried
I
doing
mean?
like 2CP, 2CT2, and stuff like that. That was going out of Madison for a long time back in, like, 2010,
Madison,
2000.
yeah, I've been to Madison, dude. It's a great
A lot
place
of
to watch music. I watched local bands that I knew from fucking Pennsylvania. You know, I'm from DC, but they were from Pennsylvania. I saw them up in Madison. Madison's a great place to go listen to music. I bought records. I went to a great record store. I bought fucking, you know, drum and bass records. I bought Frank Zappa records. It was easy. You know, it's a great place. But at the
How about
same time, like when everything leaves, right, you guys get bored, right? And you start, you know, like everything, right?
I
Tell
was
them
just at
about it. We can
Jeffrey
talk
Dahmer's.
about drugs, man. We can talk about drugs. It's an adult show.
I'm mostly a pothead, but I've done my share of hallucinogens and
Not
oh,
just you, but just the scene, man. It's
oh yeah,
crazy what they do.
I'm sure Roz did a lot of that too. But Roz was really big into opiates, and after what he'd quit opiates, he like boozed really hard.
Right, right, right. Like
Mhm.
wine, right?
Pretty much.
Well, I mean,
Pretty,
there's wine in that show, and then good God, like Peter Steele was a fucking wino, like crazy wino. He would drink 5 of them and just play. You know what I mean? And it's like, I mean, at least he had all those what do you call it? Like effects behind him, like Peter Steele could be like, you know, like that's not how
during the
I play bass. I have to be awake to play bass.
during the Greenville
It's
Market
different.
where there was a lot of champagne going around, lit candles, champagne. Yeah, Roz always had a drink. But
Jennifer's a wino. Jennifer's a wino. Good for you. Good for you. No, I'm not a wino. I'm not an alley. I'm just an alley dweller. I drink 40s. You can take the man out of the hood, but you can't take the hood out of the man. Cheers.
I should have got me a 40 tonight. I bought Subway instead.
Right on, right on. I bought a burger, man. I made a fucking short about it, but it came with a baked potato. I ate the baked potato. The burger's in my fridge, man. I'll not lie anymore. I didn't
Yeah,
have time
I was
for
in
it, you know.
Milwaukee today. I went to where Jeffrey Dahmer's grandma used to live. I
Oh
saw that
yeah,
house.
where's that?
It's
Wisconsin,
in
with
West Allis.
Milwaukee.
It's in
Yeah.
West Allis, in Milwaukee, yeah. And then we went to my friend Nick and I. We went to the where the Oxford Apartments used to be. It's just a fence around an empty field of grass. There's like one piece of the staircase left that used to go into the apartment, and we were talking about grabbing a shovel and taking that last staircase home with us.
Right, right, right.
Yeah,
Hey man, it's your
I
last
want to go
chance.
see
It
Eddie.
really is.
There's a lot to do in Wisconsin.
Really?
A lot of cool fucking dark tourism out here, man.
You know what I have over there? All right, I'll be right back, Casey. because
No
my
problem.
wife. This is for my wife. I'll dedicate this to my wife. Give me 3 minutes, okay? She loves this shit.
That's one lucky girl.
She ain't no girl. She's a woman. I said she ain't no girl. She's a woman, bro.
I
I was
heard
talking
you.
about you.
What's that?
It's the Wisconsin Death Trip book.
Oh my god, everybody wants me to read that book. Everybody wants me to read that book.
You ever see the movie, bro?
I have not.
Send me the CD. I'm gonna send you a DVD.
Well, I'm sending you 2 CDs. I'm sending you Night Sweats and Dead in Hamilton. If I had extra copies of Assertive Discipline Mix 2 and Dead in Toronto, I would totally send you those, but they're out of print.
We watched the movie, right? The movie was made and like showed in what, like a fucking public library or whatever. But my wife and I, when we watched the movie, there's the teacher, the school teacher that's addicted to cocaine and breaking windows. And we just fucking fell in love. Cause she was like, fuck the world. I'm gonna snort cocaine and break windows, you know? And she got locked up over and over and just kept doing it. You know what I mean? That's a fucking hero.
I'm Dr. Roxy, the rock and roll clown. I do cocaine. I do cocaine,
I
baby.
do cocaine. I'm sorry, I do cocaine, you know? But yeah. So she was obsessed. She was OCD, like we all are, right? So we're all obsessed with something, and maybe we can make it productive, and maybe we get locked up every once in a while. The guy who got the books, right, Jenica? My Lady J's over here, but the guy who got locked up for fixing books all the time, you know what I mean? He was obsessed. He was fucking obsessed. But the school teacher who was like, I like cocaine and breaking windows, you know what I mean? She just kept showing up. So, bro,
Ever seen that David Bowie documentary from like the late '70s, or like during
I,
the
I
Ziggy
can't I
Stardust
can't
tour?
watch that limey pagan shit. I'm too scared, bro. I'm too
There's a
scared.
David Bowie documentary that was taped during the Ziggy Stardust era or a little after that, and he's like so strung out on that stuff, like his constantly like with his teeth and stuff because
Right, right, right,
he
right.
can't keep his mouth wet, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He apparently he went through periods on purpose, but when he was like Thin White Duke, it was cocaine and milk. And I was like, "Oh, you must have smelled like shit." Cuz when my son drops milk over here or something and forgets it, I smell that other, it's horrible. Coming through your skin, cocaine and milk.
I'm glad I never dabbled too hard into that stuff.
I'm glad you're here, man. How old are you now?
I'm gonna be 36 in August.
Right on. Right on.
I share one of the founders of Heaven's Gates birthdays, and
Oh yeah.
NG
Oh,
NGG Hamlet.
not T, but Doe.
No, I share T's birthday.
Oh yeah, you share T's birthday. Okay, there you go.
Mhm. Yeah, Bonnie Nettles.
Ugh. I
And
didn't. I
GG
didn't
Hamlet.
want to say anything about it, man. Beverly, right? Is that right?
No, Bonnie. Bonnie
Bonnie
Nettles.
Nettles. Bonnie
Yeah.
Nettles. Okay. So you share
Mhm.
T's birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was working on that today, man, because I know I was joining up with you and I was thinking about the away team and I was thinking about Heaven's Gate. I was thinking about putting on like a little pin. You know what I mean? Like
I'm friends with somebody that was in that class, and I feel crazy
well, what's his
introducing
name? Joe
myself.
Modo?
His name's Sawyer. Uh,
Okay.
his
But they used
YouTube
to
channel,
call him Yo 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 or
I
whatever,
call him Soyote. His YouTube channel's 3SPM if people wanna check that out.
Awesome, man. Yeah, tell him how to do that. Tell him how to do it.
Mhm. Yeah, and he's more than happy to talk about that stuff still, and he's been in documentaries. He was in God, what was it? The Cult of Cults by HBO, Heaven's
Right,
Gate. He's in that
right.
documentary as well. But there's a
Yeah,
big
man.
lawsuit going on with those guys right now because the people that own the Heaven's Gate website, Mark and Sarah King, they're suing Sawyer and they're suing Carlotti Because
Who's
they dropped over 900 hours of audio of the class's work that the people that own the website, they didn't want that stuff out there, and it should be out.
who is Talua or whatever? Talua.
The TILA, the
Yeah,
Evolutionary Level Above Human, the TILA Foundation, they're a tax-free religious organization. What the fuck do
because you
they
can still get those videotapes. I mean, I have them, but you can still get them.
have VHS?
They still send them in VHS. There we go.
No, they don't, not anymore. They send them in DVD now, and they have them up on, Vimeo, but that's awesome. But yeah, the VHS, they go on eBay and they're really
No, no, no,
ex
no. Trust me, you can still send money to New Mexico and they'll send you the VHS tape. They're
I'd love
still
to be on
TDKs.
Sarah, but I just feel, yeah, I wouldn't feel right. I feel like it would be disloyal to my friends, Sawyer and
Mm.
Kathy, because 'cause they're
I
being
think
s
I'm gonna get, my friend had like the day the music died date on him for the plane crash. So I was thinking I'll get like 96 when, the day of, you know,
to scale.
exactly. Exactly, exactly. All right, well, we're gonna have to come up next week, man. Tell everybody where to check out all your shit.
Okay, so we have our YouTube channel, obviously, the Roz Williams Scholar Society. Our Facebook page is currently on hiatus due to just issues with toxicity, but we do have a domain, serve0.net/RWSS. If you want to see what Rosnet was before Chris and Kevin died, serve0.net/RN. I'm working on a website for Chuck Collison of Happiest Tapes on Earth, but it's still in development mode pretty much. Serve0.net/HTOE. um, Scholar Society, we have a bunch of stuff going on as far as like videos and audios and interviews of Roz, but like while the movie's being made, I don't want too much out there. So like some of these
Oh,
videos are
sure, yeah. No,
so
there'll be a new wave of interest because they'll get to have it in their DVDs and theaters and whatnot. So,
but I do run live streams that are unannounced, and when I'm in a generous mood, I'll stream for 6 to 9 hours of just audio and video of Roz. And usually on April 1st or on his birthday. I didn't do one this year. I was in a bad mood that day, but
well,
maybe this year.
my drummer and I meet up on April 1st for that purpose. We meet up. We usually play music. We usually record music. But the first thing we do is, well, God damn it, his dad passed away the same time, so we celebrate both of them. Bear and Roz. We do it at the
Mm,
same time, and we just do it. You know what I mean? And it's ritual. We'll probably never stop doing it. I want you to come back up and DJ if you can do that, because I know on your YouTube channel you can DJ. You can play all these like unheard hits, and just like I said to
or
you
live
before, I
versions of
read,
them.
they just talk over them. There, you own them. You own them.
Mhm. For sure. Well, I mean, I don't own all of them. Some of them are on the net for people that they can find it, but like the ones that I usually play are pretty freaking rare. So yeah. I mean, I'm waiting for the day I let Billboard 1997 go public. That's the last pro shot video of Roz Williams ever made, and it was in November of 1997. And his roommate's boyfriend, Eric Christides, died like a week later, like on Thanksgiving Day. So that's the last pro shot video of Roz to exist, and it's the only
Right,
one
right.
I haven't let it go yet. It's too personal. I have the very last Dream Home Heartache show from 1996 at the Astoria Hotel. Uh, again, it's very crisp, clean quality, but it's too personal. But I know this stuff's going to show up in that documentary because there's other hardcore collectors like me that are very private and are not on social media. You can only find them by communicating on email, and there's other people that other than me that exist. I'm just the only one
Yeah,
that's
it's you know
public.
what, man. I have a disadvantage being older because the gatekeepers are like, "Who are you?" And I'm like, "Well, I've been here forever. Who are you?" But the gatekeepers, they don't want to answer those sort of emails.
Still
So
gatekeepers in
there's a
my
lot of
relationship.
stuff in the
They don't
background.
wanna let shit go.
Yeah. Well, anyways, guys, it's Roz Williams Scholar Society. I tagged that up, or I'll fix it if I didn't.
It's all
Please
good.
look up the YouTube channel. Please follow all the web presence, and Casey, if you don't mind, as a friend, come back up and we'll just do some DJ of some rare shit. I'll put you
Yeah,
on the side, you DJ, I'll shut up, and we'll just listen.
depends on what you want to hear, man.
Absolutely. You know what I want to hear, man. You know what I want
Yeah.
to hear. I heard some good shit last night on your show, so
Oh
just keep it
yeah.
up.
Oh yeah. All right, man. Later, Joe.
Hey, thank you, man. Thank you. See you later.
Bye
Everybody.
bye.
Peace.